Hey everybody, I'm Sari Custer and this is Sari on Science. As you can see, today we're talking all about the science of curling. It's been all over the news, so popular this year, but you never get a chance to really explore it, see the equipment. So first off, thanks to our friends over at the Coyotes Curling Club for loaning us some equipment, because this is not something I just have laying around or that we just have at the Science Center, but we wanted you to get a chance to see it up close. So this is the curling stone to start, and it is so heavy. I am admittedly kind of weak. It's about 45 pounds, and now on TV, those curlers make it look so easy, gliding them down the ice, but this thing is massive. It is a very dense granite that apparently comes from only one place in Scotland. All the curling stones come from that same place. Really impressive. But that denseness, that very special granite, makes it so that water doesn't seep in and slow down the rock. And something else that's really interesting too, we're gonna flip it over, so we'll get a little bit closer here. And then on the bottom, I don't know if you can see this 6-inch ring right here. That's the only part that's actually in contact with the ice. And as it glides down, something else to note, that crazy other piece of equipment, what's happening during curling that everybody notes is that sweeping action, that very fast motion with these brooms. So let's take another look at the front end. You don't get to see the bottoms very often, so this is a synthetic material. It feels like nylon, to be honest. They used to use horsehair and corn fiber, but it would leave debris on the ice. And of course, you don't want that when you're trying to move something very quickly down the ice, down that sheet. So now they use synthetic materials, and that scrubbing that you see actually starts to melt the ice. So if you're at home, give it a try. Put your hands together, rub like this, and you can start to feel, what do you feel? Heat. So the dragging of your skin back and forth is creating friction and producing heat. That's the same thing that's happening as they're scrubbing in front of the rock. They're producing heat and starting to melt the ice. Now, the ice is pebbled a little bit. They spray it down with water so that there's not a vacuum underneath the really heavy rock, slowing it down. And as they melt that surface layer of the ice, it creates water. And anybody who has ever been in the shower and stepped out onto tile knows exactly what happens when you've got that layer of water. It reduces friction and you slide. So that's what they're looking for. With curling, you're trying to produce that melt layer across the water, or excuse me, across the ice, a little layer of water, so that the curling stone glides that much faster and that much farther. It has to travel pretty far, about 150 feet down that sheet of ice. So if you'd like to explore friction at home, or lack thereof, we've got a little hovercraft activity for you. You can see here in all of its glory, finally set up on our sheet of ice here, our curling ice. And all you need are some materials you probably have at home. We know that people are rarely using CDs anymore, but you've probably got some leftovers that you're not using or have scrapped at this point. Maybe they're too scratched. So just take a CD. You want to find a pop-up sport cap like this and glue it over the hole. We've got one pre-made right here. It's just glued with hot glue. Tends to work the best, so right over top of that hole. And you want to be able to lift that cap up and down. The next thing you want is a balloon. So any big balloon will work, and then blow it up, so bear with me here. Twist it off, but don't tie it. What you're gonna do, you're gonna come back over to your CD with the pop-up cap, put the cap down, and then take the end of the balloon, and you're gonna stretch it over the top of the cap, like so. Make sure it's down so that it's locked, and then you can unravel it. Then we're gonna come over here to our ice. Any smooth surface will do, countertops or a floor even. And let's test it without our hovercraft and see what happens. Doesn't go very far at all. Let's see if I can get it this way. That's even a little bit better. But you can see it takes a lot of effort to even push it just a little ways. So here what we're gonna do, the air from the balloon is gonna flow through that cap underneath the CD and produce a cushion of air. So just like with curling, where we've got that layer of water reducing friction, we're gonna use air to reduce the friction. So again, a little test, and let's see if we can open this up. Here we go, just a little bit. And look how easily that flows. You can make your own targets and see if you can get it right to the center. Let's see if I can get it center home. Oh, pretty close. I win. So I look forward to you giving this a try at home. Create your own hovercrafts, explore friction, and of course, if you have more questions, please check us out at the Science Center 7 days a week. Check us out at azscience.org, and I'll see you next time with Sari on Science.